Einen wunderschönen Willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge von Whispers of a Machine. Wir haben in der letzten Folge hier die Leiche begutachtet. Siehst du, ich wollte hier noch was anderes gucken. Ne, hier, warte mal. Wir haben jetzt zwar hier den Smart Scan und so weiter, aber vielleicht haben wir ja noch ein bisschen was anderes. Hier machen wir hier noch den Stiefabdruck an. Nein, die Klingenform. Gibt's was? Karls Bio, gibt's was? Aber mehr auch nicht. Okay, gut. Zurück. Wir wollen jetzt wieder weg. Spinde, das ist so. Schlafraum. Wir gehen nach Nordsund. So, da geht's nach Westen. Das ist interessant. Da ist ein Fahrstuhl.
Looks like an old hovercraft.
Arbeiterin, hier ist nochmal ein Wrack. Ein Polizist zum Museum und zum Marktplatz, okay. Ich könnte aber erstmal hier im Groben gucken, aber nö. Dann machen wir den Biometrieanalysator und gehen zur Arbeiterin.
Hey, what's happening here?
Bit of an electrical problem with some fallen power lines. It's being taken care of, but it'll be a while.
So I can't enter the museum?
Well, you can, but only if electrocution is something you enjoy during working hours.
Stromtod, witzig. Wann dürfte das alles repariert sein? Was ist so mit schweren Verbrennungen? Ich finde, die passen hervorragend zum Tod durch Stromschlaf, ja.
What caused it? Did someone mess up, or was there some kind of environmental damage?
Oh, we've had a windy week. An old tree fell down and ripped down a major power line. It's in a tricky spot, and due to how the grid is built up, I can't cut the power safely without affecting half the town.
Sounds like a flawed design. Is that typical for electrical grids these days?
Not really. This power grid is quite old, constructed shortly after the collapse. That meant they had to improvise. They couldn't just clone existing power systems at the time, since those were reliant on service robots with negligible safety concerns. So yeah, now I'm paying the price. The whole thing is riddled with hacks and workarounds, each one more dangerous than the next.
I see. I don't envy such a hazardous work environment. How long will it take you to fix?
Hard to say, but it should be done by tomorrow morning.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so du hier.
Hello, Deputy. What are you guarding?
The residence of the first murder victim. The commissary told me to direct you to his office before going upstairs.
I see. I'll go find him and come back later then.
Sounds good, Agent.
Okay, ich muss erstmal finden. Wahrscheinlich zum Marktplatz, zum Museum.
Doesn't look like I can enter the museum.
Achso. Zum Marktplatz. Und dann gibt es hier noch einen Westen. Warte mal, ich gehe mal zum Westen. Das sieht gut aus. Und da geht's zum Osten.
All right. So this is the town square. That building with the emblem must be the police station.
Wir haben eine Contino als Eingang Schule, Skulptur, Klinik zum Polizeirevier Osten. Ich gehe mal zum Polizeirevier.
I'm surprised the Bureau got their thumb out of their ass. It's not like they could find Nordson on a map.
I, for one, am grateful for the help. From what I hear, the person they sent is young, but quite capable.
Optimistic as always, eh, Kurt? I guess we'll see. Agent Anglin, we've been expecting you.
Councilwoman, I was told you'd be my bureau contact here.
That's correct. I'm Stina Ruth, and this here is Kurt Anderson, police commissary.
Welcome, Agent. Enjoy your trip to the middle of nowhere?
It was a bit bumpy, and way longer than I expected.
Yeah, that train has seen better days. You'll find your luggage in your quarters, just through the door behind me.
Thanks. I'll check it out later.
So, you were probably confused as hell when we sent you straight to a crime scene, right?
Kind of. I thought I was supposed to investigate a murder from last week.
You were, but unfortunately a second killing required your urgent attention. I assume there are some Bureau procedures before I brief Agent England about the situation?
Yes. Why don't you head to your office, and I'll send this youngling on her merry way when we're done.
Very well. It was a pleasure to meet you, Agent.
Likewise. I'm a bit confused here. Who do I report to?
Only to me as overseer of this district. The local police are at your disposal since they're legally required to aid you in the investigation.
Got it. How would you like me to share my findings with you?
Face to face in the evenings. The balcony inside the local canteen is a good place to meet.
Okay, I think I have what I need then. I'll go talk to the commissary.
Good. We'll catch up later. Oh, but I have to ask. Tell me, how was it for you?
What do you mean?
Come on, you know what I'm talking about. We've both done it.
Oh, you mean the augmentation, the nanofluid injection.
Sticking to the boring scientific terms, aren't we? Back in my time, we used to just call it taking the blue. Come on, let this old lady live a little. Tell me, how was your first kiss with the blue?
Also manchmal wird man hier ein paar Geräusche hören, nur mal so als Erwähnung, weil unsere Lola hier, ne, die sitzt hier und bewegt sich natürlich auch, ist ja ein Lebewesen, ne? Und die bewegen sich meistens. Und beim Liegen und Schlafen und Schlummer macht sie natürlich genau das Gleiche. Also bitte nicht wundern, wenn es mal so oder irgendwie klappert oder sonst was. So, wie war das eigentlich? Ich habe eine unglaubliche Zugehörigkeit verspürt, als wäre ich mit allem Leben um mich herum verbunden. Es war eine plötzliche Wut, die über meinen ganzen Körper wallte, die noch nie zuvor gespürt hat.
A sense of enlightenment and acute awareness washed over me. A crystal clear lucidity I had never felt before.
I remember that moment like it was yesterday. What I wouldn't give to feel like that again. No side effects, I hope? We wouldn't want you to get compromised in dangerous situations.
Not yet, but
Ist
I
aber
know what to
seltsam
look out
drauf.
for. Mild hallucinations, nightmares, burning sensations in the limbs, the occasional migraine. Things like that.
Yeah, that covers the usual suspects. All right, I think you're good to go then. We shouldn't keep the commissary waiting.
Nah, I have work to do.
So, wir schauen. Ach Gott, hier ist so viel.
A thermos, presumably filled with coffee.
Ja, und nehmen mit. Oder? Warte mal. Hier ist leider nichts. Schade. Oh, Kaffee. Oh.
Damn good coffee. It's a map of Nordsund. Looks like the center of the disk is hollow. Curious.
Das Ding macht mich da oben ein bisschen wuschig.
Low maintenance. My kind of plant.
So, zu Veras Quartier, zu Andersons Büro. Ich glaube, der will erstmal was für uns. Oder von uns.
All right, Agent. Would you like me to brief you about the first murder?
Yes, please.
Maya Strand, 41 years old, the caretaker of the Nordsund Museum. She was found by the janitor on the floor near the exhibits early last Wednesday. Just like Carl, she was stabbed. No witnesses, no evidence. Killer practically a ghost. No signs of a forced entry, so either the entrance was open or she let him in herself.
What about her residence? Anything out of the ordinary in there?
Nothing, as far as we could tell. But we left the place as we found it if you want to have a look. She lived upstairs from the museum.
Noted. The crime scene is no longer intact, though, correct?
Afraid so. The museum is important to Nordsund, so we had the place cleaned out pretty quickly.
Okay. Das ist ein bisschen ruppig hier, bevor sie... Ja, Das hat mich gewundert hier mit der Bürgermeisterin. Warte mal.
Exactly what kind of power does Town Hall have over the Nordsund police?
Well, there's the elected mayor, Marianne Holst, and the town council with 5 members. Technically, they can't interfere with our work, but they do allocate resources to the police department. So I try to appease them where I
Ich verstehe.
So they can't fire you if they disagree with your methods?
No, I'm independently elected. But they certainly have ways of making my life a living hell if they really want to.
Got it. Thanks for the info. One more thing. I'd like to see Maya's body, if that's possible.
Of course. We brought it out of the freezer this morning. You'll find it in the morgue, over at the clinic. Dr. Persson, our physician, is awaiting your arrival.
Good. I'll head there when we're done.
Okay, es werden immer mehr Sachen hier
Did you
kommen.
know Maya Strand?
Not at all. Museums aren't my cup of tea. I prefer to not dwell on the past.
What's your opinion on Stina Ruth?
I respect her. She's a competent politician. She gets things done, unlike some of the other people on the council. Sure, she has a temper, and she's not the most tactful person, but she calls out bullshit when she sees it. When I'm right, she has my back, and when I'm wrong, well, she won't let me revel in my sweet ignorance for long.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Me? Oh, I've been doing this job for 15 years now. I took over when the previous commissary died. I'm married with 3 children. Anita, my youngest, is off studying science in the city now. We're counting the days to Christmas when she comes back to visit.
I'm looking for a young woman connected to the second victim, Carl.
All right. What do you know about her?
All I have is a picture of her that I found on Carl, but it's damaged and her face can't be clearly seen.
Tricky. If you had any kind of personal information, like an address, you could look her up in our records. They're in the drawers behind me.
Noted. I'll get back to you about this if I learn more.
Okay.
What do you think of Gabriel?
My nephew is a fine officer. He's a law and order kind of person. Stern, but fair.
Oh, law enforcement runs in the family.
I wish, but so far, Gabriel and I are the only ones. I've been trying to get my son to join the force for years. All he cares about is girls and fishing. Suppose it could be worse. At least he brings home a fresh trout every now and then.
Did you know Carl Oscarson?
I wouldn't say so. He and my son were playmates as children, but they grew apart in their teens. Haven't talked to Carl myself for many years.
Okay.
What do you know about the murder in the locker room over at the workshop hall?
Not much. As you know, the murder happened shortly before you arrived, so I'm leaving the matter in your capable hands.
Oh, ich habe die ganze Zeit das hier
Not while we're
vergessen.
talking. Do you know if saffron is grown anywhere in Nordsund?
I think so, yes. There should be someone in town with more information.
What do you make of this?
Not sure, but if you need to know when somebody came to town, I'd suggest looking in the citizens' records behind me.
Right. I might do that if I could figure out who wrote this note. Any idea of what this opens?
Nope, not a clue.
Do you know who the woman in this picture is?
No idea, sorry.
Okay.
That's all I needed.
Very well.
So, wir haben jetzt hier Bücher.
A collection of what seems to be both fiction and books on law and social sciences. If that's all Anderson's, he's quite well read. A small local greenhouse. A typical site in Nordsund, it seems. I guess Anderson has a colleague.
Ja, sein Neffen, ne?
Looks like a logbook. Maybe Anderson records his daily work there. The drawer is labeled Address Records. These should come in handy. I'll be able to match a name to an address, or vice versa. Let's have a look. Yeah, this just confirms what Anderson told me.
Warte mal, hier.
As expected, nothing new. I don't think I need to look him up. I don't think I need.
Okay, dann suchen wir dann, finde ich. Bücher, Fenster, Akten.
Just lots of case files. The window offers a view over a street that connects to the town square.
Gut, dann hätten wir das. Hier ist übrigens unser Quartier.
Looks purely decorative. There's a bottle of molding resin here. Might be useful.
Okay, danke.
A bottle of molding resin. I can use this to cast different shapes. It might also work as a glue.
Gut zu wissen, hier ist so ein Fahrstuhl drin, ne?
Nice big lemon. Small miracle to see it grow to that size under these conditions. No, I'm not tired. Maybe later. I'm not that hungry. doesn't appear to be functional. There's not even a switch or anything.
Der Fahrstuhl wird noch eine ganz wichtige Bedeutung haben. Was ist das hier für Durchgang? Ah, die Zellen.
Unmanned. Makes sense with no people in here. Probably for opening the cells. I don't need to mess with that.
Passt da vielleicht der kleine Schlüssel?
That action doesn't seem productive to me.
Nee. Hätte sein können, weil hier explizit ein Schlüsselloch ist, ne? So, in unserem Tagebuch sehen wir dann immer Safran. Da müssen wir noch was finden. So, was haben wir noch? Zur Klinik. Wir können uns die Leiche angucken.
Hi there.
Hello.
Thought I'd introduce myself, since I'll be coming here a lot. I'm Agent England, Central Bureau.
Oh, nice to meet you. It's a relief to have you here. We're all shook by these recent killings. Sure, the doctor's excited, but even his morbid curiosity has limits, you know. After all, we mostly treat coughs and the occasional broken limb here.
I get it. I'll do my best to help. Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to go to the morgue. Where's that?
Down the stairs on your left.
Great, thanks.
Okay, die wird aber nicht viel sagen können, ne?
I don't think she'd be interested in that.
Was ist das?
Various medical supplies.
Okay.
Looks like no patient is admitted at the moment. It's filled with cannulas, those little needle things used to connect an IV. I don't think I need one right now.
Gerade
A
nicht.
portable medical kit with all the essentials. Unused bandages would come in handy in a pinch. An old pre-collapse monitor, probably not connected to anything. I don't need any water right now.
Okay, dann können wir hier nochmal rausgehen.
Healthy-looking plant.
Warum gibt es hier so ein Kram? Abgesperrter Fahrstuhl.
An old freight elevator of some kind, likely out of order. A list of admitted patients. I don't recognize any of the names. I'm guessing those contain patient files and such. It's a map of the clinic layout.
Aber wir merken uns das nicht. Okay.
Don't worry, Maya. You'll be put to rest soon. I know.
Ist der
I
Gesicht
know.
aufgeschnitten?
Sorry about the delay. I was needed urgently out of town. Oh, hello there. Me and this old gal have been expecting you.
Talkative, is she?
Oh, no doubt. The dead have a lot to say, you know. Sometimes more so than the living.
Der ist irgendwie seltsam,
Is
der
that
Typ.
so?
The living are fickle and prone to deceit. Once dead, we can't hide things anymore. Not from me, at least.
Müssten Sie erst vertrauenswürdigerweise, bevor ich mich auf Sie verlasse, tut mir leid, dass Sie das so empfinden. Ich glaube, die meisten Menschen sind aufrecht. Deswegen brauchen wir Möglichkeiten im Haus. Genau,
I'm
ja.
sorry you feel that way. I think most men and women out there are sincere.
Oh, sure. Perhaps I came across as a bit misanthropic. Most of the time, people are just fine.
Glad to hear that. Now, I'd like to ask some questions.
Sure, go right ahead.
Wir haben jetzt viel zu erzählen.
Did you know Carl Oscarson?
No. When I heard he was murdered, I didn't even recognize his name. I had to check my records to realize that I've treated him. To be fair, I've had many patients. But he must have been cursed with one of those awfully forgettable faces.
All right. Anything out of the ordinary in his medical history?
Sorry. Can't go into detail. Doctor-patient confidentiality, you know?
Keep it vague, then.
Well, okay. Let me put it this way. I doubt you'd learn much from his file.
Noted. Thanks.
Okay, dann ist das keine Spur.
What do you think of Gabriel?
Your average policeman. I have no strong opinion about him one way or the other.
I'm looking for a young woman connected to the second victim, Carl.
I can't help with that. I didn't know Carl on a personal level.
What do you think of Commissary Anderson?
I think he does a fine job. He's been instrumental in making sure that I can work under such good conditions.
Yeah, this place is surprisingly well equipped. Definitely on par with our facilities in the city. What do you think of Stina Ruth, the councilwoman?
She can be quite an unpleasant woman. I can't say I've enjoyed my few interactions with her.
Did you know Maya Strand?
Not really, but I enjoyed listening to the occasional lecture of hers at the museum. She had quite an intellect, that woman.
So she wasn't a patient of yours?
Oh, she was, but that's all confidential, so I can't say much about it.
I understand, but anything you can share would help.
Well, during the autopsy I noticed that she was unusually worn and feeble for her age.
Okay, and what does that tell us?
For one thing, that she would have needed help with the more physically demanding tasks of the museum.
Got it. Thanks. What can you tell me about yourself, Doctor?
Oh, me? I suppose I would qualify as a workaholic. Most of my time is spent here.
So how long have you been practicing medicine?
Must be 16 years now, I believe.
16, 15.
And you're the only doctor in Nordsund?
Yes, but we have good relations with the other settlements. We collaborate and pool resources when necessary.
Any theories on Carl's murder?
Not yet. I'll need to see the body first.
Ach, hast du noch nicht. Ach,
Do
Mensch.
you know where saffron is grown in Nordsund?
I'm afraid not. We have plants all over, but botany is not my area of expertise.
What are your conclusions about Maya's murder?
Most obvious first. The cause of death is acute blood loss due to the multiple stab wounds to the chest and stomach, 2 of which were lethal. The murder weapon is a mid-sized blade, likely a knife of some kind. There are some defense wounds on her arms, so the victim likely tried to shield herself against her assailant. I couldn't recover any biological traces of the murderer. There's no blood on her that isn't hers, or any traces of skin under her nails. This makes me suspect that the killer likely wore protective clothing and gloves. The time of death was roughly 2300 hours last Tuesday, 5 days ago today.
Mal gucken, ich hab's vergessen, das Ding anzumachen. Können wir doch mal...
Did you know Maya Strand?
Not really, but I enjoyed listening to the occasional...
Ich
So
klick
she
mal
wasn't
kurz.
a patient of...
Oh, she was, but that's all.
I understand. Okay,
For one thing,
got it. Thanks.
Okay, da passiert nichts.
Did you know...
no, to be...
All right,
Sorry.
keep it vague then.
Well,
Noted. That's enough questions for now.
okie dokie. Oh, if you come back later
Oh, sure.
today, I should be able to tell you something about it.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
So, dann schauen wir mal, was wir finden, ne? So, was haben wir denn da? Verstorben, weiblich, Alter 43. Das könnte vielleicht die Frau sein. Ne? Geschätzter Todeszeitpunkt minus 5 Tage, denen ist zum Datenspeicher hinzugefügt. Okay, ich nehme mal die Klingenform. Übereinstimmung, Muster. Danke. Warte mal, was ist das da unten? Das liegt aber sehr seltsam da, das Skalpell.
This might be useful.
Okay, deswegen sieht es so seltsam aus. Was haben wir hier noch? Ein Schreibtisch.
I suppose that's where the doctor writes down his autopsy reports.
Fächerofen, Aschebehälter.
I think that's for collecting the ashes after a cremation. Appears to be a small one last waiting room before the final embrace with the earth.
Ich würde mal sagen, wir sollten dann als nächstes hier
multiple stab wounds, sizes approximately the same as the other body. I'd say the MO looks similar to the other murder. I don't see how those things work together.
Weiß ich nicht, wollte einfach bloß gucken. Ja, ich würde sagen, ich mache an der Stelle wieder ein Folgenpäuschen. Wir sehen uns dann in der nächsten Folge wieder. Mal schauen, was wir dann tun. Ich muss mal kurz gucken hier. Das ist Tab, das ist das. Wir können ja nichts weiter einstellen. Schade. Wir werden dann hier nach draußen gehen. Beim nächsten Mal. Und... Oh, hier ist noch eine Tür. Warte mal.
Locked.
Okay. Gut, wir werden, wie gesagt, beim nächsten Mal hier weitermachen und schauen mal, was wir weiter herausfinden werden. Vielen, vielen, vielen Dank fürs Zusehen und ja, beim nächsten Mal schauen wir uns die Sachen hier an. Bis dahin, euer Firefox.